Anyway, we are now in Glasgow in this incredible hotel. If I expose correctly, you shall see. Let's check it out for a second.
For a minute, should I like that? I could never catch, taking aim, might have missed you. Couple 100 miles out, if I hear the text, no, you're probably blacked out. How the other night last, maybe come around for a minute, should I like that? I could never catch, taking aim, might have missed you. No, you're probably blacked out, get the bag now. What the address, where's he at now? Don't let me back there, be regicide. That's if I'm ever gone. If you bought me in my face, please spare the better side. Tapped out in my hands, only for one time.
Hello everybody, welcome to this new video. This is episode 2 of the Scotland series. I hope you enjoyed that slightly rough and chaotic intro sequence. That was the hotel where we were staying at. As I said, we are now in Glasgow in this episode. We moved on from Edinburgh with the train towards Glasgow, which is actually just an hour ride to my surprise. It was really short, and then in Glasgow we have some new architecture, a new city, new shots to get, and this video we are again doing some urban photography. For anybody who's waiting for the landscape photography, don't worry. I think episode 3, the next episode, is going to be landscape photography. But in this one we're still doing some urban photography here in Glasgow. I hope you enjoy. And as mentioned in the last episode in this video, I'll be talking just a little bit about the gears so that you can get a good understanding of what I used to get all of these shots, and maybe you can transfer that knowledge to your next trip when you are deciding what gear to use yourself. But anyway, I'll talk about that a little later in the video. Let's get back to Glasgow. Let's see what kind of footage and photos we will get. Golden hours coming up. We've got some new architecture here, so yeah, I hope to find some cool urban shots here. Let's go.
She'll be running back, sell her soul, I'll buy it, nothing to worry about. 18 days until she blows, settle past, see the AC grade, riding the road when the car stops, changing lanes, fill the cup till my heart drops, changing lanes, fill the cup, say blacked out, how the other night last, maybe come around for a minute.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed that little first sequence from Glasgow, which was from the first evening of the 2 nights we stayed there. I was shooting with the Lumix GX80 as always, and on the whole trip. That's the only camera I have. The main lens that I used on this trip, which I also shot the photos with, which you saw in the previous sequence, was the Panasonic 14-140mm, which I, by the way, also reviewed. If you want to see it, it's up here. It's a 3.5 to 5.6 aperture zoom lens. The zoom range is insane if you think about it. It's not very big, and it goes from a full frame equivalent of 28mm to 280mm, so I could get really telephoto looking images as well with this setup. But also decently wide images. Not very wide, I never got very wide images because 28 was the widest I could go, but I was fine with that. And that was my main lens. I was using this setup for 95% of the photos. The other 2 lenses I had with me were the 20mm 1.7, which is making this image right here at the moment, and also the Canon 50mm 1.8 vintage lens, which I have an adapter for, to adapt to Micro Four Thirds. Both of these lenses I used much less than the 14-140mm, but especially when it got a little dark and we were shooting in low light, I like to go down to f1.7 to catch more light, because especially with Micro Four Thirds you can't go very high with the ISO. So this lens was in handy for those low light situations, and the 50mm vintage lens I only used once. Anyway, that's enough gear talk for now. Let's get back to Glasgow.
What I like is never enough. Barely a time that I could share with others. Bought a new table just to skip supper, and all of my demons in bed. What you call it? I left all of my demons on red. Not a problem. Wake up, alright, wake up. Barely a time that blacked out. How the other night last, maybe come around for a minute, should I like that? I could never catch, taking aim, might have missed you. Couple 100 miles out, if I hear the text, no, you're probably
Right, that pretty much wraps up day number 1. I am decently satisfied with the photos we got. I'm not really impressed by many things, like there's no actual photo that I'm like, yeah, that was the photo of the day, that was so good. So let's see if we have more luck on day number 2.
She said I hate my day job, I don't feel it, I need race car. Top down to match my ceiling, I don't have none. Dollar billies, one time. She said I hate my day job, I don't feel it, I need race car. Top down to match my ceiling, I don't have none. Have none. Dollar billies in my bag run. Fuck your feelings, I detach them. Wonder why I had them. With her bad lungs, running back to home. Keep coming back if I had known. Aren't you tired of understand why? Probably just a habit. She running to the cash come. Wonder what happened. Busy on the inside. Why ain't got the answer? Why ain't got hands? I don't got answer. You and your friends, where have you been? So she said I hate my day job, I don't feel it, I need race car. Top down.
So that was day 2. We got a lot of photos, as you saw, but none of those photos again were super impressive to me or are photos that I am really proud of. Like, they're all alright, they're all good, some are better than the others, some worse, but none of them are photos that I'm actually proud of and that I'd say, yo, that is definitely going into my portfolio. Yeah. Like, good photos here and there. I really like this one, for example, of the bridge. I like that it's looking rather empty, but I'm actually surprised how good it turned out because the lighting condition was actually pretty bad at that time already. It was a sunny day, no clouds, or maybe a few patches of cloud here and there, but it was harsh sunlight on that bridge, and it was 11 o'clock or so, so the sun wasn't low anymore. But it worked out here, it looks quite good actually. But later towards golden hour we got this photo here of the taxi, which is a photo I do quite like. But yeah, it's not something that blew my mind as I edited it. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. The next episode should be coming in 2 weeks. I still need to edit the photos, so I really don't know how the photos turned out. I hope that we had some more luck. But yeah, anyway, if you found some valuable information in this video, leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and I hope to see you again next week. Goodbye.